Okay, this is a pretty comprehensive problem, so we're going to go through it. It's going to take a little while, but stick with me. Let's go through and make sure we understand what's going on. They issued 8% bonds. I'll just highlight it with yellow, make it a little easier. They issued 8% bonds with a face value of $700,000. They mature in 4 years. Market yield is 10. And interest is paid semi-annually. So based on that information, I know that the amount of payment they're going to make every year is 8% times 700,000, that's 56,000 divided by 2. So the annual payment is going to be 28,000. Okay, so I know that piece. I know that it's 4 years, so the appropriate N is 8. And the market rate of interest is 10, so I know that the appropriate amount of interest for my computation is 5. So I've taken it and plugged those numbers into my calculator. Okay, and now second mode, quit, apps, finance, number 4, which is present value, enter, and I find that the value of my bond, to buy that bond right now, would cost me $654,757.51. which I'll simply round off to $758. So, the selling price of the bond, $654,758. And that's the present value of an annuity. N equals 8, I equals 5, and that annuity is 28,000, plus the present value of a sum. Same parameters, N equals 8, I equals 5, and the sum is 700,000. Okay, so you could do it either way. The next thing it says is prepare the journal entry to record the issuance of the bonds. In other words, when we sold these bonds, what happened? Well, our bonds payable is 700,000. That's always the same. And we just figured out the cash we got, $654,758. $654,758. And the difference between those two is discount on bonds payable, and that's $45,242. Now, our task, and this is what we have to work on next, is we have to make that discount go away. We have to use that discount up over the next 4 years or 8 interest periods to come up to the face value of 700,000 at the end. So we need to fill in this amortization schedule. And don't get all funky about an amortization schedule. It's no big deal. I took the time to make sure that was filled in because we're always going to be paying that. That's the $28,000. That's the cash that's going to go out. The effective interest rate is always going to be the same. It's going to be 5% times the carrying value of the bond. Okay? And the increase in balance is also called the amortized amount. So the effective, and that's the difference between these two. That's the amount that we are amortizing. And at day 1, the amount of money we've borrowed, the carrying value of our bond, is $654,758. That's the amount that we're going to be paying 5% of. So 5% of $654,758 is $32,738. The difference between these two, $4,738, gets added to our outstanding balance. Okay, because this bond was sold at a discount, so we add the amortized amount, because when we get to the very end, that's where we need to be. We know that. So we'll add that. That gives us $659, $496. We will take 5% of that, and that gives us $32,975. The difference between those two is $4,975. That gets added to our carrying value, which brings us to $664,471. And we will just keep repeating that and repeating that. 5% of $664,471 is $33,224. The difference between those is $5,224. We will add that to the $664, and that'll take us to $669, $695, and we will continue to do that all the way down. And I'm just going to go through, I've got them worked out obviously. I'm going to go through and just fill in the numbers. At the end, we will have paid a total of $224,000 worth of interest. Our effective interest will be $269,242, and the amortized amount will be $45,242, which I'm hoping you remember. You look at that and you go, that looks familiar. $45,242. So that's an amortization schedule. Now it says, prepare the journal entry to record interest on June 30th, 2013. That's this one. Okay? So our interest expense is $32,738. Our cash is $28,000, and the amortized amount, the discount that we are amortizing that we're using up, is $4,738. Okay? And then the last part of this problem says prepare the journal entry at the end of 2016 when we're getting rid of this. The bond is going away, okay? And we have our interest expense at the very end. And I cheated. I have the answer worked out here. But the interest expense at the very end, it's still going to be $28,000, okay? The discount on the bond payable that we amortized the very last period is $6,665, and this is $34,665. And you just have to continue that table down, doing 5%, then deciding difference and adding it. And when you get to the end, that's what you'll find. You'll find this is 6,665, and this is 34,665. And then it says, and we're getting rid of the bond, okay, at maturity. Well, how much are we getting rid of? The bond payable, $700,000, cash, $700,000. Pretty good bond problem. We went through determining the selling price, then we did the effective interest method to come up with the amount of interest that we were amortizing, and then we did the journal entry to record that. And that, the first journal entry, I don't remember if I showed you that when I did it. That's the first journal entry for the first month. Okay, when we took the 32,738 and we showed the interest, the discount, and the cash. And then at the end, when it's fully amortized, the balance in the discount account is 0.